fashionable cinematography after some time will go out of fashion. It will not become timeless. Yeah.
Tupakil Vijay's room in the lighting. എപ്പോ സിനിമ വരുമ്പോൾ ഞാൻ അത് കണ്ടോണ്ടിരിക്കും.
Qualities of light and the blend of light and darkness. The blend of light and darkness is very important because the correct blend of light and darkness is what gives it a mystery. But to do a commercial film is also fun because you enjoy the songs and you enjoy everything. So the idea behind all these films is that whether you are doing a documentary also is that you enjoy yourself.
ഇത് ഒരുപാട് ഇന്റർവ്യൂ ചെയ്തത് എനിക്കറിയാം. അതുകൊണ്ട് ജാക്ക് ആൻഡ് ജിൽ തന്നെയായിരിക്കും മനസ്സിൽ. ഞാൻ ജാക്ക് ആൻഡ് ജിൽ എന്ന് പറയുമ്പോൾ what is the one visual that comes to your mind?
Manju doing sliding on a scooter with a Bharatanatyam dress.
I saw that in the trailer. താങ്കളുടെ എല്ലാ സിനിമകളിലും ഞാൻ കണ്ടിട്ടുണ്ട് കാവ്, കാട്, ഇതൊക്കെ becomes more of your ഒരു പേഴ്സണൽ ഒരു ഫേവറേറ്റ്സ് ആയിട്ട്. ഇതിലും കാവിൽ കൂടെ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഇതിങ്ങനെ കൊണ്ടുവന്നിട്ടുണ്ട് ഈ കാര്യങ്ങൾ. സോ ഈ കൊച്ചുകുട്ടിയ കാലത്താണോ ഈ ഒരു ഇതിനോടൊരു അഫിലിയേഷൻ വന്നിരിക്കുന്നത്?
ഇല്ല, ഞാൻ ആക്ച്വലി ഹരിപ്പാട്ടൊക്കെ വളരാൻ നേരത്ത് മണ്ണാർശാലയുടെ അടുത്താണ്. അപ്പൊ മുഴുവൻ കാവും കുളവും അങ്ങനത്തെ ഒരു ആംബിയൻസ് എനിക്ക് ഭയങ്കര ഇഷ്ടമായിരുന്നു ആക്ച്വലി. സോ ഐ എം വെരി മച്ച് അറ്റാച്ച്ഡ് ടു ഇറ്റ്. ഓൾസോ അതിനെ പറ്റിയൊക്കെ അറിയാവുന്ന ആൾക്കാരുണ്ടായിരുന്നു എന്റെ ഫ്രണ്ട്സ് ആയിട്ട്. ഇപ്പൊ അവരെല്ലാം മണ്ണാർശാല പൂജാരിമാരൊക്കെയാണ്. അപ്പൊ അതിന്റെ സിഗ്നിഫിക്കൻസ് ഒക്കെ എനിക്ക് അറിയാം ആക്ച്വലി. സോ ഐ ഹാവ് ബീൻ ബ്രോട്ട് അപ്പ് ഇൻ സച്ച് എ വേ ദാറ്റ് ഐ എം വെരി ക്ലോസ് ടു ഓൾ ദ, എസ്പെഷ്യലി ഈ കാവ് എന്നൊക്കെ പറയുമ്പം it is a fertility വേണ്ടിയുള്ള സംഭവങ്ങളൊക്കെയാണ്. So it is very interesting. I was always very fascinated, even though I had a education in an English convent school, Jesuit school. ഇതൊക്കെ കാണാൻ നേരത്ത് നമുക്ക് വേറൊരു അനുഭവമാണ് ആക്ച്വലി. സോ ഇറ്റ് ഇസ് മോർ അവിടെ ഇറ്റ് ഇസ് ഒരു എൻലൈറ്റനിങ് എക്സ്പീരിയൻസ് ആയിരുന്നു.
അത് ഞാൻ ജനിച്ചു വന്ന അടുത്തൊരു തറവാട്ടാണ്. അപ്പൊ ഈ ഒരു സർപ്പക്കാവ് പിന്നെ അതുമാതിരി പാമ്പും തുള്ളലൊക്കെ ഞങ്ങളുടെ ലൈഫിൽ ഒരു വലിയ സംഭവമാണ്. അതെ. അപ്പോ when you become ഒരു ജാക്ക് ആൻഡ് ജിൽ being your directorial and I mean ഒരു സിനിമ ചെയ്യുന്ന സമയത്ത് ഇതൊരു ഡയറക്ടർ ഇത് ഞാൻ തന്നെ ഡയറക്ട് ചെയ്യണമെന്ന് തോന്നാൻ മാത്രം. What was this whole spark for you?
Actually, all the people who approach me to make films always come up with these epic films, They want me to do these period films and epic films. So I actually want to take a break and make a very contemporary, fun-filled film. Actually, I want to make like that. But I didn't have any idea what I would like to do. അപ്പോൾ ഒരു സമയത്ത് എൻ്റെ കുറെ ക്ലാസ്മേറ്റ്സ് ഉണ്ട്, സ്കൂളിൽ പഠിച്ച 1ാം ക്ലാസ് തൊട്ട് പഠിച്ച എല്ലാവരുടെ സ്കൂളില്. അപ്പൊ ഞങ്ങളെല്ലാം റിയൂണിയൻ വന്നപ്പം അപ്പൊ അതില് ഒരു നാസയിലെ സയന്റിസ്റ്റ് ഉണ്ട്, പിന്നെ 10-30 ഡോക്ടേഴ്സും ഡിഫറെന്റ് പീപ്പിൾ, അപ്പൊ നമ്മളെല്ലാം കൂടെ സംസാരിക്കാൻ നേരത്ത് we realized that it was a big discussions on artificial intelligence and how it is going to take away jobs. Already ഇപ്പൊ റോഡിന്റെ വഴിയൊക്കെ പറയുന്നത് ഗൂഗിൾ ചേച്ചിയാ, മനസ്സിലായില്ലേ? അപ്പൊ they have become a part of our life. അപ്പൊ അങ്ങനെ ഒരുപാട് കോൺവെർസേഷൻസ് അബൌട്ട് ഓൾഡ് തിങ്സ്, ന്യൂ തിങ്സ്, എവറിഥിങ്. അപ്പൊ ഇതെല്ലാം കൂടെ വെച്ചിട്ട് I thought that this could be an interesting film to make, with that kind of thinking of some old young schoolmates getting together, and you have all these whiz kids and one of them is a scientist, and they come to this place where they want to do some secret experiments on people. So they come to a കാവിന്റെ അപ്പുറത്ത് ഒരു ചെറിയ സയൻസ് ലാബ്. കാവിൽ വിളക്കുമ്പോ ഇവിടെ ലൈറ്റ് കത്തും, അവിടെ കോല എഴുതുമ്പോ ഇവിടെ വയറ് ശരിയാക്കും. അപ്പം കംപ്ലീറ്റ് കോൺട്രാസ്റ്റ് of a UK-based scientist, which is done by Kalidas, who comes here and then does all this. And also, I always wanted to shoot Manju Warrie, actually. Sometimes as a cinematographer, you wish you had shot people like Smita Patel, but you never got the opportunity. And I also wanted to shoot Manju Warrie, but then she has stopped acting. So when she finally came into acting, I decided that I'm going to do something where I could showcase all her talent, whether it is singing, dancing, even action with grace, all that stuff, And I thought she's the right person to do it. So that is how the film came about. And that is why in the trailer you see her in different forms and as like different people, So it's a very quirky film, actually, with a lot of interesting. And also I had people, all very well-known people like Kalidas, Jairam, Saubin, Then we have Basil, Aju Varghese, and of course the late Venu Chetan, who's also part of it. Then we have Indrans. But along with that, I also cast some of my classmates, so very educated, distinguished people, who I made them all into villains, and who I thought would add that flavor of believability, because you've not seen them before, and they're all discovered, waiting to be discovered, and they have some innate talent. So there's one person called Sunil Samuel, who's actually a magician, and he is from IIM and studied with RBI, Rajan, and all these people. You know what I mean? So very educated people, but all doing villain roles, and I have given them also their own names and things like that. So after the film, I think they're all going to kill me, I think.
Quirkiness equal to Manju Warrie. She can modulate the sound. And then, of course, Bharatanatyam, each step in them it becomes completely reel back and interesting. Colorful Maya Jatri, as a promo, cinema.
Yeah, correct. Cinema, I think it promises the same things actually.
Correct. 11 National Award, 24 international recognitions and Padma Shri and all these things. What is the motivational level for you? Organic garden, forest.
Actually, organic garden for the last about 120 days, I've been with Mohanlal trying to visualize his dream project, Barros. Yeah, I've been busy with that. After that, only all this happened, so I have not had time to sit and promote the film and all that, because we just folded up in Goa, and now I'm here actually.
Yeah. Santhosh, as a cinematographer, commercially, two types of movies you've done. You've done big budget films in your directorial also. Ashoka Mayura cinema, Anandabhadra. And that cherry cinema like Halo, Malli, and Terrorist. As a director, in the cinema, how do you adjust your creativity to the mass audience and to the art or differential sequences?
Yeah, definitely, because I think both have their advantages. Because a film like Halo is one of the incredible journeys, one of the 8 films from the world. So it is showcased even now in Britain, and you're called. A film like Terrorist actually was the first film to be taken by Sundance, and then it got sidelined for the Independent Spirits Awards. So we have a different, and then John Malkovich released it all over the world. So you have a lot of opportunities with that kind of film, but that's a different scale. But to do a commercial film is also fun, because you enjoy the songs and you enjoy everything. So the idea behind all these films is that whether you are doing a documentary also, is that you enjoy yourself. It is almost like saying that when you build sandcastle near the wave, it's more exciting. The wave will come and demolish it. That's also excitement. So I think it is like that. But sometimes I also shoot big films, commercial films.
Yeah.
That is partially to fund the smaller films, so that I have my own funding. Yeah, like that. Yeah.
So, you will always be very comfortable. Arena directors working, even with a less pay cut, you go and comfortable work and not even the storyline. Our concept, our comfort zone, sometimes it becomes very friendly, sometimes a healthier discussion of home. Instance, I don't know.
Yeah, I think sometimes, when someone tells a story and you figure it out that he's talking about his own life experience. Even when you are shooting a film for people like Maniratnam, you will ask about a scene, and then he will tell something which strikes you, because it might be something that he has drawn from his personal life. So that is always exciting. Then you want to help them accomplish it. And I charge according to the budget of the film. So it's a percentage of the budget. It is not like I charge so much. It's always that I like to do it, and I also love to work with new people, because they always bring something very fresh and unadulterated to screen. But that you realize only when you listen to them telling the script. That time you know whether he has borrowed it from somewhere, or is it his own stuff. Yeah.
Two types of directors. Sometimes child directors, you really want frame. This is what the sequence is. Chelvere leaves it to your artistic vision. ചിലത് കാര്യങ്ങൾ നമുക്ക് എളുപ്പമായിരിക്കും, അങ്ങനെ എല്ലാം കട്ട് ആൻഡ് ഡ്രൈ ആയിട്ട് പറയുന്ന ഒരു ചട്ടക്കുള്ളിൽ നിൽക്കുമ്പോൾ. പക്ഷെ ഏത് പ്രോസസ്സാണ് സന്തോഷിന് ഏറ്റവും
I always think it's a combination, actually. It is not, I think, once you convince your director that you're interested in his story and everything, then he will let go. He knows that you are following everything clearly. So when you make a suggestion that is very visual, he is very eager to embrace it. Because he knows that you are not trying to work off tangent only to make your visuals great, but it's also about the film. And he gets a confidence that you're following the story quite well and you understand all the scenes and everything. So it's a give and take. It's a bridge that both have to cross.
Yeah. ആ ബ്രിഡ്ജിൽ നിന്നുകൊണ്ട് ശ്രീ മോഹൻലാലിന്റെ ഡയറക്ടോറിയൽ എങ്ങനെയാണ്?
Mohanlal is someone who I have a very long relationship with, actually. So those days we used to compete with each other after taking pictures. And recently, when the pandemic was on, he was stuck at his house. So every day he would take some new pictures of morning and evening and send it to me, and then we would have some deliberations and discussion what is good and what is bad. So I always realized that he is a very visual person. So and also unique in his vision because it is not borrowed; it is himself. You know what I mean? So I think that has come into the film also. The disadvantage being we are doing 3D, so it's technically a little problematic. And also because he does not understand so much technique, he is free to tell all these complicated moves, but it's up to you to do it. It's like that. But we had a great fun shooting it, and we only have about 3-4 days left actually, which is in Portugal. Which is in Portugal. Yeah.
Coming back to your ചില സമയത്ത് ഈ മാസ് സിനിമകളിൽ ഈ സൂപ്പർ സ്റ്റാർസിന്റെ ഒരു ഓപ്പണിംഗ് സീക്വൻസ് എൻട്രി സീക്വൻസ് ഭയങ്കര സംഭവമാണ്. കയ്യ് കാല് മുണ്ടിന്റെ തറ്റം ഇതൊക്കെ നമ്മൾ കാണുന്നു. സോ ഹൗ ഡു യു എൻഷുർ ദാറ്റ് ദിസ് ഇസ് ചില സമയത്ത് അഡ്രിനാലിൻ റഷ് വേണമല്ലോ തിയേറ്ററിൽ ആൾക്കാർ സൂപ്പർ സ്റ്റാറെ കാണുമ്പോൾ. So Santhosh Sivan as a cinematographer, how specifically.
Actually, they asked me. In fact, there's a shot in Tupaki where the director wanted a very grand entry for Vijay to come to save his sister. So I just had a little bit of thinking, and then I shot very unconventionally, put the smoke machine upside down, and had him emerge from the smoke, which became very viral and very interesting. So I think such things are pretty interesting to do, actually.
Yeah.
Then when you say mass, see, I did a film called Irur, which is a little sophisticated in the sensibilities.
Exactly.
And it has a very different kind of sensibility. Of course, I got a national award for it. But the next film I did with Maniratnam was Dil Se, which is playing to the mass, to the gallery. Okay. But that also you got a national award. But the fact is that you can accomplish both in different genres, actually.
Santhosh ഞാൻ ആദ്യമായിട്ട് കാണുന്ന ഇരുവരുടെ സീനിലാണ്. You came to KSFDC to shoot in Seedit. I saw you along with Beena Paul and Harikumar, and അന്നാണ് സന്തോഷ് എന്ന പ്രതിഭാസം ഞാൻ ആദ്യമായിട്ട് കാണുന്നത്. You were talking about ആദ്യം താങ്കൾ ഏതൊരു ക്യാമറ മേടിച്ചതിന്റെ എക്സൈറ്റ്മെന്റ് എനിക്ക് പേരറിഞ്ഞൂടാ. അന്നായിരുന്നു. So you sitting opposite to me and I still remember that moment. Coming back to തുപ്പാക്കി എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞപ്പോൾ എപ്പോഴും താങ്കൾ ഇന്റർവ്യൂ ചോദിക്കുന്ന ആഗ്രഹം ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നു. തുപ്പാക്കിയിൽ വിജയുടെ റൂമിന്റെ ലൈറ്റിംഗ് എപ്പോ സിനിമ വരുമ്പോൾ ഞാൻ അത് കണ്ടുകൊണ്ടിരിക്കും. I just want to understand how do you bring in this elements and enhancement. സാധാരണ ഒരു വീട്ടിലെ റൂമിന് we know that something is going to happen in that room, that lighting definitely enhances. അങ്ങനെ പല സീൻസ് ഉണ്ട്, പക്ഷേ this comes to my mind. So how do you see that when you സാധാരണ ഒരു സീനിനെ ഈ enlighten ചെയ്യാൻ? What is the Santhosh Sivan's magic?
Not much. It's actually basically observation. And when the director said that he would like to have a lot of tension, it's a very narrow, small room, and I didn't have all the facilities that you would get in a studio, but I still managed to do something like that. And then, you created that ambience. Now, what happens is once you create that ambience, now others will imitate it. So it becomes regular. So a lot of things that you do which was created beginning is then being imitated by another set of people. That's not bad that way, but the fact is that if you try to create all the time, it is more interesting, and not imitate. But this is good because I think a lot of people really freaked out, especially Vijay and all, but was very much wondering what is happening with all these moving lights and everything is very strange and things like that. Yeah.
It still runs in my mind. എത്ര കാലമായി സിനിമ ഈ ഒരുപാട് സിനിമകൾ കാണുന്ന ആളാണ് താങ്കൾ. ഒരുപാട് ഫ്രെയിംസും സീൻസും ഷോർട്സും ഒക്കെ മനസ്സിൽ കൂടെ പോകുമ്പോൾ between this inspiration and copy ഞാൻ പറയില്ല, ഒരു ഫ്രെയിമിന്റെ ഇൻസ്പിറേഷൻ ഒരു സീനിന്റെ ഇൻസ്പിറേഷൻ വരുമ്പോൾ എത്രത്തോളം നമുക്ക് എടുക്കാം, എത്രത്തോളം നമ്മൾ എടുക്കാൻ പാടില്ല? Where should we start and where should we stop?
I think most of the time when you see something that really strikes you, you are very appreciative of it first. Okay. Maybe you get inspired to do it similarly, or I don't know too much, because most of the time when you actually do a film cinematography or direction, I start to try to motivate myself by saying that this is for someone I love very much, like my father or something. So I will try not to borrow something that is an outside influence. Okay. I try to always keep it to because if I'm offering some flowers to God, then I cannot steal it and give it. You know what I mean? Because I think as an artist, it's very important that you stand in front of the mirror and says, "Okay, everyone says it's very good, but this one I did it." You know, it is not always easy to do that. But the fact is that if you want to polish your skills, I don't think it is wrong to imitate or get inspired by something and learn it. And then you understand, but you should finally find your style or your calling. Yeah.
ഏറ്റവും അധികം ഇൻസ്പയർഡ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള സിനിമാറ്റോഗ്രാഫറിന്റെ വർക്ക് എന്താ ശരിക്കും സന്തോഷം?
I think it is Subrata Mitra who used to do Satyajit films. I think this is very inspiring because his work has a timelessness, which I think is very important. I also try to do the same thing. I don't want to get into too much fashionable cinematography because I know that fashionable cinematography after some time will go out of fashion. It will not become timeless. Yeah. So I try to stylize nature.
Santosh's signature shot എന്താണ്?
Oh, I don't know. What I like most shooting is water.
Okay. Really?
Yeah, I like to see any of my films you will find, and I like to shoot people's state of mind and do a metaphor with water. Like in Terrorist, you know, her mind is like a static pond sometimes. Sometimes it's like a waterfall. Sometimes it's like a lovely stream going by. So I think water is very interesting metaphor to showcase your human mind. As a director,
അശോകയിൽ ഫുൾ വെള്ളമാണ്.
വെള്ളമുണ്ട്, ഡസ്റ്റ് ഉണ്ട്, അവസാനം അതിനാണെങ്കിൽ സീസൺസ് മാറും. So it starts his romance is all in mist and all that, and then finally it is sunshine and dust. And the time when the Kalinga War happens, the moon and the sun is together and all that stuff.
Correct. ഒരു when you look at with അച്ഛന്റെ കൂടെയുള്ള ഓർമ്മകൾ നിങ്ങളുടെ ചെറിയ കുട്ടിക്കാലത്ത്, I mean, what kind of conversations happen? അദ്ദേഹം സിനിമാറ്റിക്കാരനാണ്. എന്തായാലും നിങ്ങളുടെ കൊച്ചുകുട്ടിക്കാലത്ത് നിങ്ങൾ മൂന്ന് പേരുടെയും അച്ഛന്റെയും അമ്മയുടെയും.
Actually, I used to travel with my dad.
Sanitha, right?
Yes, yeah. So I used to travel with my dad to locations when he used to go for shooting, you know. So when we go to Wayanad and all that, I will ask him, who made these roads? Then they said some foreigners did this. And that, of course, eventually happened, and I made a film called Before the Rains, which is about that. Okay. In English, okay. Because he said the Sai Marga Poi. Apart contrast, through with him, if I traveled, I realized that I could see a lot of new things which I have not seen. So I used to really like that. And that's why I wanted a profession like this also, to travel. You know.
Correct. ഒരു ക്യാമറ കണ്ണുകൊണ്ട് നോക്കുമ്പോൾ ഏത് ആക്ടറിനും ലുക്കിംഗ് ഗുഡ് ഈസ് വൺ ഓഫ് ദ മേജർ തിങ് ബീയിങ് റൈറ്റ്. അപ്പോ താങ്കളുടെ ലെൻസ് കൂടെ നോക്കുമ്പോൾ വാട്ട് ഇസ് ദാറ്റ് യു ഡു ടു എൻഹാൻസ് ഒരാളുടെ നല്ല ഫീച്ചറിനെ എൻഹാൻസ് ചെയ്യുന്നതാണോ സിനിമാറ്റോഗ്രാഫറിന്റെ കൂടി? അപ്പോ എങ്ങനെയാണ് അതിലേക്ക് എത്തുന്നത്? ഞാൻ എപ്പോഴും ആലോചിക്കും എന്തൊരു ഭംഗിയാ സ്ക്രീനിൽ കാണുന്നത്.
That's a very complicated question, because only when you see and you learn about imperfections will you realize that how you would like to see these things, because everyone has imperfections. But I think basically when you try to shoot someone, I think it is your job to give them the confidence that they will be looked after very well in the frame, and so don't let your radiance go. The radiance, the inner radiance, is what makes you come alive on screen. So that aliveness should be there, and not just cosmetics and hair and costume, but that aliveness is what makes people like the other person. Yeah.
Jack and Jill ഇത്രയും എന്താ പറയുക ഹൈലി ടാലന്റഡ് ആൾക്കാരെ കൂടെ നിൽക്കുമ്പോൾ യു ആൻഡ് യുവർ ക്രൂ എങ്ങനെയായിരുന്നു ഇവരുടെ ഈ കോമൺ സ്പേസിലേക്ക് വരുന്നതും ഈ ഒരു മാവറിക് ആൻഡ് ക്വർക്കിനെസ് എല്ലാം കൊണ്ടുവരണം, കൂടെ അവർ അഭിനയിക്കുകയും വേണം, അതിന്റെ ബാലൻസ് എവിടെയായിരുന്നു?
I think fortunately, I think everyone actually likes me or my work. So I didn't think I have any problem. There's no ego as no. When you say something, they'll all listen. They're very good. And also, you have someone like Venu Chetan there at that time, who I have known him since Peridachan. So he also talks nicely about you to all of them. And he'll say that he's a little eccentric, but you listen to him, you like that kind of thing. So it's okay. So and I was also supported by people who I've worked with for some time. So I don't think, and I think everyone is wanting something to happen, and everyone wants, all the actors want to know what they're going to do. And so their mind is also busy doing things like that. And then most of them are also acting with Manju, and for them, Manju is a very, very big star, and also they all admire and like her very much. Yeah.
സന്തോഷ് ഒരു നല്ല സിനിമ വന്നു പോയി നമ്മളൊരു എക്സ്പെക്ടഡ് സിനിമ താങ്കളെ സിനിമോഗ്രാഫി ചെയ്തു, നല്ല എഡിറ്റർ ആയിരുന്നു. പക്ഷെ ആ സിനിമ മര്യാദയ്ക്ക് ഓടിയില്ലെങ്കിൽ നമ്മൾ റിവ്യൂ വരുമ്പോൾ കാണുന്ന വെച്ചെങ്കിൽ ഈവൻ ദോ സന്തോഷ് ശിവൻ ഇങ്ങനെ പറയും, നിങ്ങൾ കഷ്ടപ്പെട്ടെടുത്ത സിനിമകളായിരിക്കും ഓരോരോ ഫ്രെയിമുകളും. സോ തോന്നിയിട്ടില്ലേ could have given more justice for your work and even the movie did not do well?
I think so. I think sometimes you feel when people talk about your photography, even or film. But നമ്മുടെ കാര്യം മനസ്സിലാക്കണം, in today's world, every audience is a critic. So they don't necessarily have to know anything, but they are free to write whatever they want. So you cannot argue with everyone. Today, if you ask me very frankly, almost everyone is a cinematographer because they play with the phone and shoot something. Okay. But everyone used to read and learn to read and write. But all the time today they're only messaging. They never write a story or never write a poetry, nothing. So just like that, the people who are shooting video will only do that. They don't do more, but they think that they know. They know much more about it. But there's also true that they know a little thing about it, which is good for you. Then they will understand how things are done, and they're able to appreciate it. Just like if you write books and there's no one to read, then what's the point? So I don't mind people saying that this thing, and maybe someone will also say something correct. But over a film anyway, there'll be a percentage of people who might not like it for sure. And there'll be a percentage of people who like it. So as long as if the majority likes it, then you're done. You're done. Correct. Okay.
A cinematographer turned director for you. I think you started in 1986 and 1988. First cinema is in 1988. അപ്പോൾ അങ്ങനെ എന്നിട്ട് പിന്നെ cinematography, then coming back to direction. When you are a ഒരു cinematographer turned director ആകുമ്പോൾ sometimes ഈ രണ്ട് ഹാറ്റും പുറത്തേക്ക് വരും, റൈറ്റ്? ഡയറക്ടോറിയൽ ഹാറ്റ് ആൻഡ് cinematographer ഹാറ്റ്. അപ്പോൾ ഇതിന് എവിടെയാണ് താങ്കൾ ഒരു ഇത് കൊടുക്കുക?
Basically, cinematographer hat is a nature of a eye. So it is not that I have to prepare for it or anything. When I see something, I know if it's right or wrong, and so you're able to support it the way because of your experience and all that. And the best part of cinematography is that you don't have to interact with anyone; you just interact with nature. Okay, but as a director, you have to interact with everyone. Okay. So it needs a little PR skills and keep everything in order, things like that. So it's two very different things actually. Yeah. But the second nature is helpful because you sit and so now I'm used to it also. Because I always feel that if I'm a writer, I have written a script, then I want to direct, then naturally I only write too. Or even if I'm a music director, then I'm making a film that I already give music. No? So same way. That's how I see it. Yeah.
വേറൊരാളുടെ സിനിമ കാണാൻ പോകുമ്പോൾ വേറൊരു സിനിമ തിയേറ്ററിൽ ഇരിക്കുമ്പോൾ when you start looking at എന്താ പറയുക, അതിന് കൃത്യമായിട്ടൊരു ഫീഡ്ബാക്കോ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഒരു അനാലിസിസ് നടത്തുന്നത് ആസ് എൻ ഓഡിയൻസ് ഞങ്ങളുമായിട്ടുള്ളതാണ്.
Most of the time, when I see some film which is done by a cinematographer, and I think there is some good thing in it, I make it a point to call him up and tell him. And he'll be very happy and pleased that you actually told him. I'll point out where he might have gone wrong or where he has done well. And so they're very grateful for that also, because I'm senior to them and I'm also maybe a little more accomplished. So they're very happy to get that kind of feedbacks from me. So there have been a lot of cinematographers which I do that too. Yeah.
ഒരു ഗുഡ് സിനിമോട്ടോഗ്രാഫി എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് എന്തായിരിക്കും? When you hear a review, what is that you feel? ഇതായിരിക്കും എല്ലാം കൂടി ചേർന്ന് ഒരു ചേരുവകയുണ്ടല്ലോ, അതെന്താണ് സന്തോഷ മനസ്സിൽ?
I think it is also there's lots of variables. Okay, one is it is something that has been created, not imitated. Something fresh that has been introduced by the cinematographer. Something that goes with the mood and the story of the filming. It is not about it being beautiful. It is about it being apt for the way the narration is held together by the cinematography. These are two of the, and then the use of colors, the understanding of light, the understanding of the qualities of light, and the blend of light and darkness. The blend of light and darkness is very important because the correct blend of light and darkness is what gives it a mystery. So basically, when you say something, darkness is where creativity, everything creative is born. Whether it's a baby or a seed in the soil, it goes through a period in darkness and then it comes out. So you also realize that when there's a tree, the tree might be giving flowers, but the roots are carnivorous. They might be taking feeding of a dog and things like that. So if there is for all everything with mystery and life, there should be a blend of light and darkness.
One question only, as a message for all the students who are in film line and cinematography direction, what is your message?
I think you should go with your instincts. Make sure that you love travel, because travel gives you a lot of first-hand education. It is not a classroom experience or a film institute experience. It gives you your own ideas and everything. And then people today say that, oh, you have to assist someone. I don't think it's necessary with today's technology at your fingertips. You don't really have to. If you do a one short film where you do exemplary cinematography or an idea that is executed, there are a lot of people who can pick you up and put you where you would like to be. But you have to be very passionate. You have to not postpone things for tomorrow. Whatever you want to do, start right now. Think that there's a tiger behind you. So then everything will be all right. Yeah.
Oh, that's a good one. So, Kerala, frame
Kerala is full of beautiful frames, if you ask me.
What is
My
your
favorite play, I love forests actually.
I knew you would say that. Last question. Why should people see Jack and Jill?
I think Jack and Jill, I made it after the pandemic is just over. I wanted to make a feel good film, which is full of fun, entertainment, action, everything that you wish is there. So I think, you don't have to, maybe there are sugar coated messages in the film, but it is not the important part of it. But I just basically wanted to have people to have fun, actually. Yeah.
Okay. So I know that now, but next time. I'll catch you when you
Okay, next time.
Okay.
Okay,
Bye-bye.
bye.